The following week, an elderly woman was admitted to the hospital. The moment Emily entered the room to clean, the woman looked at her carefully. "Emily?" Emily froze. She slowly turned around. "Mrs. Johnson?" It was the same woman she had cared for during her clinical training. Mrs. Rose Johnson smiled warmly. Emily forced a smile. "I work here." Mrs. Johnson looked around the room. "As a cleaner?" Emily lowered her head. For a moment, she couldn't speak. Then the tears came. She told Mrs. Johnson everything. How her father had died. How she couldn't pay her final semester fees. How she had dropped out of medical school. How every dream she and her parents had shared seemed to disappear. Mrs. Johnson reached for Emily's hand. "My child, why didn't you look for me?" Emily shook her head. "I didn't want to be a burden." Mrs. Johnson held her hand tightly. "You were never a burden. You saved me when I was lonely. Now it's my turn to help you." Emily smiled sadly. "It's too late." Mrs. Johnson looked into her eyes. "No, as long as you're alive, it's never too late." Within 2 weeks, Emily received a phone call that changed her life. A foundation had agreed to pay the remainder of her tuition with the help of Mrs. Johnson.
Emily returned to medical school with a heart full of gratitude and determination. Many of her classmates were surprised to see her back. Emily studied harder than she ever had before. Months later, after the final exam, the results were released. She passed with outstanding grades. On graduation day, while everyone celebrated with their families, Emily stood alone. After the ceremony, she quietly visited the cemetery. She placed her graduation cap between her parents' graves. A few weeks later, Emily began searching for a job. She attended interview after interview. Some hospitals rejected her because she had no connections. Others chose candidates whose families were influential. Emily began to lose hope again. Then, one morning, her phone rang. "Hello, is this Dr. Emily Brown?" "Yes, speaking. I'm calling from Grace Memorial Teaching Hospital." Emily's heart skipped a beat. "We've reviewed your academic records and received an outstanding recommendation from your university. We'd like to invite you for an interview." Emily thanked the caller repeatedly. The interview took place 3 days later. The medical director looked at her file. "You graduated with excellent results. Tell us, why did you choose medicine?" The room became quiet. Emily took a deep breath. Then she answered, "Because I know what it feels like to lose someone who could have been saved." A week later, Emily's phone rang again. With trembling hands, she answered. "Dr. Emily Brown?" "Yes. Congratulations. We are pleased to offer you a position at Grace Memorial Teaching Hospital." For a moment, Emily couldn't speak. The tears came before the words. Thank you so much." The following Monday, Emily stood inside her small room wearing a brand new white coat. She looked at herself in the mirror. Then she picked up the framed photograph of her parents. She smiled through the tears and whispered, "Daddy, Mummy, we finally made it." She kissed the photograph gently, picked up her doctor's bag, and walked out of the house to begin the life they had all dreamed of.